Sound like a soldier.
Thanks, Salam.
It's wartime.
Yes, it is.
Super wartime. And it's like no time for bullshit. That's what I've been waking up these past couple weeks thinking. It's like, okay, no, it's actually wartime. I feel like I'm at war. I feel like I'm in the trenches. I feel some days I catch smoke, some days I shoot my shots, but it's warfare, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you got to really think. If you on a battlefield, it's not fun and games.
Well, it depends on who you are. You know? You think about all those war movies and you see the ones who crack the jokes, usually the ones who die first.
That's true. It's very true.
The ones who ain't serious about this wartime, who ain't picking up their arms and looking at the enemy with all of their focus, you're left behind.
That's right.
You know? They going to have fun all the way until they're gone.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the life. If that's the life you want, you got to decide.
True. Then you see images of generals scheming and strategizing with dudes.
Oh, they're the most serious about war. They're not even on the field.
No, exactly.
Because they understand war.
Yeah.
And they're strategic with it.
Yeah.
They've made themselves so monstrous that they're indispensable.
Yeah. Cold, calculating, and there are moments where I'm in that zone as well. I toggle from front lines to strategist, military strategist, but when I'm forced to put myself in is the mindset of objectivity and thinking that warfares aren't won overnight. No, wars are not won overnight.
No,
this empire is not just going to fall. This empire is not just going to give us everything. This empire is going to fight tooth and nail to preserve itself, and it is, and it has, and it is. So with that just means it's going to take time. Because as we build ours, they're rebuilding theirs or reforticating it, whatever that word is. Yeah, refabricating.
When you come into the realization that it's not personal.
No stretch, man.
It's like, like we plan and God plans, but God is ultimately the best of planners.
Yes, sir.
It's like they got a plan.
Yeah.
And either you're going to be doing their plan or you're going to be doing God's plan.
That's right.
So if God is the best of planners, whose plan you want to follow?
Yeah, that's true.
Decide for yourself and do that.
Yeah.
So some people are going to follow the devil's plan.
Yeah.
And they're happier in it. The devil's plan comes with convenience. It comes with
comfort,
ease. Like lies are way
short-term conveniences.
Yeah.
Short-term conveniences.
Yeah, all of that.
And that our game is, since we are in the devil's world. We're in it. And we have jobs in the devil's world. We're in it. Use the devil's currency. It's what is the balance between, the negotiations and deals we make with the devil's world, Rome, and the energy and exertion we put in building our own, right? It's
the balance between the physicality, the spiritual, and the mental.
That's right.
So the devil's world is very physical.
Yeah.
And you got to do what you got to do in order to be able to survive physically in this world. But as long as you're maintaining yourself spiritually and keeping yourself sharp mentally, you're in the world, but you're not of it.
That's right.
It's like when Neo clocks into the Matrix, he does his bid, then he gets to go back to freedom.
Yeah.
If you don't know that you're Neo, you're stuck in the Matrix.
That's right. Yeah, but Neo does go back to the Matrix, and he's putting in work. There's an objective.
Because it's the battle.
That's the battle.
You can't live in the battlefield.
No.
You're not gonna get no sleep on the battlefield.
No, sir.
You battle on the battlefield.
No, sir. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think that's the appropriate mentality for when we have to engage. It's just that militaristic, strategic objectivity in engaging in Satan's world. Right? That's it. And like you said, it's not personal.
So
it's not personal.
Here's the download, right?
Yeah.
Most black people are in survival mode.
Yes.
Because they're not unplugging from the Matrix.
I understand.
The ones who understand that this world is not going to give them any rest are perpetually fighting.
Yeah.
They have no such thing as pulling themselves away, and they don't pray, really. They don't meditate. They don't exercise. They don't eat the right foods. They're just perpetually on the battlefield, fighting it out tooth and nail every day.
Every day, man.
But because this is all they know, they've never experienced peace. This is the life that they think that they're choosing.
Yeah.
And I think it's like our job to like go down to the battlefield, shake them up, and help them realize that you can't live on the battlefield.
No, absolutely not.
You need peace. You need to be able to pull out of this.
That's right.
And then people come to the mosque sometimes and they feel like the people in the mosque, they're doing the same thing I'm doing out here. That's because you can't even imagine what they're doing. From their perspective, it looks like they're just always in the matrix.
Yeah.
From your perspective, I mean, it looks like they're always in the matrix, but they have peace.
Yeah.
They found it. That's why they continue to come.
That's right.
It's like until you unplug, you won't know what peace looks like.
That's right.
Until you understand what peace looks like, you're going to want to go back into the matrix.
That's right.
You're going to think, what's so good about not being in the matrix? Like, you got to
What's the benefit, right?
You got to understand what peace means.
You have to feel it.
You have to feel what healing is.
You got to feel it.
All of that is essential. Like, I mean, I see even some people in the mosque who haven't really discovered peace. They're perpetually on the battlefield as well.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
It comes and goes, man.
Even once you come into the mosque, if you're not studying for yourself, you're not really praying, you're not eating the right foods, you're still, stuck in that cycle. You might understand where peace is, but you haven't figured out how to attain it.
Yep.
So you're perpetually in the battlefield, and it comes with side effects. PTSD is very real.
That's right. That's right. It's I got the essentials are prayer, work.
The pillars
Study.
of Islam: prayer, fasting. What is it? The pilgrimage is one.
Oh yeah. Oh, the 5. Hajj.
Yeah.
Fasting.
Gotta look it up.
Yeah. Cut right to it, man.
Yeah.
Actual
I don't
facts
want
on
to
this.
misquote.
Not at all.
As you can see, I haven't figured out peacefully yet.
No. And I've had this conversation with other brothers, is when you join the nation, like Allah gives you, and I'll speak from my perspective because you were born in the nation. So he gives you like this period of like honeymoon and grace period. Like, okay, well, congratulations, you figured out the matrix, you're out. Because you figured out the puzzle and you know what time it is and you actually willing to make that sacrifice, I'm gonna give you a grace period of peace. But eventually I'm gonna prepare you to go back to the battlefield. You can't just stay here when we have a job to do.
That's
right?
true.
So a lot of brothers, and I was just talking to brothers about, okay, I had my good run of peace and peace, blessings, and the trials that weren't that severe. I've left that realm and got to Allah throw me into, okay, now, bro, warfare with the enemy, but also warfare with the consequences of my past choices I made when I was in the world. Because the thing about Islam and Allah is mathematics.
Yeah.
Your past deeds don't go away because you joined the nation.
No, those trials were tailor-made for you.
That's right.
And that's how you become successful, is by learning how to overcome those trials.
Exactly.
If you try to fight the lesson, you're gonna repeat it over and over and over again.
That's right. So Allah gives you that grace period to build up the spiritual fortitude to confront the consequences of those deeds when they come for you.
Right.
And that's what I'm realizing. And it's not bad or good. It's just what it is. Like, okay, yeah, well, I did that. That had, that has a consequences. This is what it's like being on the other side of that. Wow, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's how you know. When you learn that your actions that are detrimental cost and they're painful, and you feel the pain and you understand why it happened.
Well, it becomes increasingly painful the more you don't learn.
That's right.
If you have to repeat the lesson over and over again, it's like a scab. It won't heal.
No, that's right.
It's just going to continue to gush.
That's right.
If you keep picking at it, it's going to gush more. Like, you have to allow it to heal, which means you have to actually learn the lesson.
That's right. Learn, process, understand, and then have it embedded into your being that behavior, those choices aren't going to get you to where you need to go, to where you say you want to go, which is the kingdom or heaven, whatever.
Like, I don't fully understand karma or the idea that when you die, there's something else. I don't presume that I know how that works.
Yeah.
But I look at it like, every day you die and every day you come back to life. So that could be possibly what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And some people say that, like, you know, those trials that you have in your past lives are the trials that you're going to repeat in these new lives if you never learn that lesson.
That's
right.
Because
ultimately the goal is ascension. Ultimately the goal is to become, you know, what you set out to become or what God put you here for.
That's right.
You know, so if it's an everyday thing, then you're going to see it. You know, you're going to feel it. Every day you got to fight it. That's your lesson.
That's right.
If it's a every life thing, it's the same thing.
That's right.
You know, so either way, the goal is work on yourself. And
that's it.
You know?
So you have the purpose that God put you here. We ourselves came here for, to actuate and to execute that purpose. You know, that's the path of ascension. Then you have the karma and the consequence of your past deeds that pulls you into cycles of repetition and to reincarnation to where you're not ascending. That's the pull.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
here
struggle.
are you as a being in the middle who purpose, potential, ascension, sin, consequence, karma. You are in the middle of that vortex, and every day is waking up to that pull. And then that is why it is necessary to call upon Allah, because He is the only one that's going to allow you that gives you the strength and fortitude to not succumb to the gravitational force of your prior decision making.
Exactly.
That's the only way out.
Yeah.
It's the only way out. Otherwise, you're just gonna rinse, rise, repeat.
And it's not like
5 pillars of Islam. Let's get that out right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Shahada. That's one we forgot. Profession of faith. Yeah. The belief that there is no God but Allah.
I always forget that one because I never had to do that.
Yeah. Well, you had to write a letter.
I did, but I know a lot of believers that didn't.
Didn't have to write a letter?
Yeah, because like there was like contention because we were born in, and so a lot of us don't write a letter.
I thought you had to when you're 16.
That was a rule that came up when I turned 16.
Oh, interesting.
And then the year after that, they said we didn't have to.
Interesting.
And then the year after that, I heard it again that we did have to.
Okay, understood.
So some people were just like, hey, I'm not messing with this game.
I understand.
My dad wrote it. His name is in the book. I'm in the book through him, which is true.
It's true.
It's like I had to decide that I had to put my own name in the book. That's a personal decision.
It is. No, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. You can only ride coattails for so long. Yeah.
I mean, shoot, if those coattails is nice enough, ride them.
Hey, ain't nothing against riding coattails, but at the end of the day, it's like that's only the mission of the mission. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's my point, right? So whether you're in through somebody else's name or in through your own name, it's like the work is the work.
The work is the work. The work ain't gonna. Are you gonna help the work, build this kingdom, raise the dead, deliver the 30 million or more to the Lamb of God, or are you going to be in Satan's world with the coattails? Yeah. With the Muhammad and the coattails.
Well, I mean, I don't judge the people who are not getting the Shahada on their own, because I feel like if the mission is getting the dead and they're doing the mission of getting the dead, who am I to say they didn't dot all their I's and cross their T's? That's between them and Allah.
That's true.
You know?
Very true.
I did it for myself.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a matter of, it wasn't for me, it wasn't even a matter.
When you were 16?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
You know what? I didn't do it when I was 16. I did it later. Mm-hmm. I did it when I was like, I had to be in my 20s, because I remember when I did it, Khan did it the same day.
Yeah.
And me and Khan, our rebirth day is on the same day.
Nice. What's your rebirth day?
May 18th.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I changed my Facebook name, my Facebook birthday to May 18th, so I wouldn't forget it.
I think mine's April 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, everybody in this, like, okay, so I was talking to a brother, and he was talking about how, I think he had a misunderstanding. He was saying that the messenger said that some of my best followers are in the streets. And I think he took that to mean that, you know, his best followers don't even have to be Muslim. But to me, I've always understood that to mean that we got to go get them, and we don't know which of them will be the best followers. Yeah. It's like, whoever his best follower is still out there, so we got to keep going out there and getting more.
That's right.
And so my thought was, either way works, right? The work is what's important.
That's right.
Even the idea of somebody committing to Islam, to me, is not going to necessarily win us this war. To me, there's different battles, different fronts, and we're going to need people on different sides. That's like, right. I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about how I don't like to vote. And I was saying, yeah, that's my personal view.
Cool.
I believe that voting is useless unless you're already like on your way to making yourself a billionaire or something like that. Like,
Cool.
unless you're in the place where you can lobby or something like that.
No, I feel you.
Or black people somehow figure out how to get unity and we working together to create our vote. To me, voting is useless.
I understand.
But I would never tell somebody else not to vote.
No, exactly. Yeah,
If you want to vote, vote.
Yeah, facts.
Because there's a purpose for it. Like, just like everything we do is going to have some kind of purpose.
Facts.
Just you follow what you think is right for you.
That's right.
I'm not here to judge that. Just like I can't say what somebody else's part in this war is.
No.
So the idea that they didn't follow Islam in the way that I thought, to me, is like, it's not for me.
No, sir. No, sir.
So like I personally am trying to do all 5 pillars, but I don't judge the next man who's doing what they can, with their understanding.
Absolutely. Let's get the rest of these 5. So Shahada, profession of faith, Salat, prayer, 5 times a day. Charity, zakat. There we go. Fasting, and then Hajj, pilgrimage. There we go.
Charity.
So Shahada, Salat, zakat.
I think charity,
fasting, and Hajj.
Charity and Shahada was the ones we missed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shahada. No, we didn't get Salat either. The only thing we said was
prayer.
Oh, you said prayer? I missed that one. No,
prayer,
fasting. We said fasting and.
I'm good with prayer, fasting, and pilgrimage. Like those 2 stick in my head for some reason. I haven't made the pilgrimage, and I give myself the
actual pilgrimage to Mecca. Okay.
The minister said that when we go to Savior's Day, that's our pilgrimage. So I was like,
I've also heard that our pilgrimage is just saving the dead.
Well, I think it's on a mental, physical, and a spiritual level. So for sure, it's like that's probably the spiritual
joining the
level.
nation. Yeah, man. No, for real.
It's
coming back home to
journey.
Islam. It is a journey.
Yeah,
it's a journey from niggerdom, lost foundness, savagery to Islam.
Yeah,
that's a leap, bro.
No, it is.
That's a leap, and that's why it takes the pressure of circumstance to bring a lot of our brothers to it. Prison. With me, it was, I had to lose my mind to actually see that God was the thing, and then I had to get pressure to realize like, yo, there's nothing in this world for you, black man.
You got to have that epiphanetic moment to make that decision.
Very good word. Epiphanetic. You really do.
You can't come into something that is opposite of what you've been doing your
entire life
without having a moment of pure crystal clear clarity.
Yeah.
And that jail helps you with that.
It does.
It's a time where you don't have to worry about taking care of your kids, your wife, the bills, making sure that you're not a homeless person.
No, for real.
Like everything is maintained for you. So you just have time to think.
Yep.
And if you have any type of intelligence in this world, then you use that time wisely.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Jail's a good time for that. If you get into meditation and you get into studying, that's a good way to figure out what your purpose and goals.
That's right.
are.
Yeah. So this is this realization that like it really does take that moment to pull someone out of this world into, Islam, our Islam. It's it really tailors how I approach people with it, and the key operating philosophy. It's just you gotta exude it. You gotta be the clean glass of water. And we say that, but that's really the only way you attract, because this whole prophetic and evangelical way of like, you better go. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
You can't be holier than thou. You have to be real. Like that shit. No. It's obvious when it's real.
Yeah.
It's like when you're faking it, you feel cheesy.
That's right.
People get the vibe. It's like something ain't right over there.
That's right. And you really have to demonstrate who you are. The light of Allah has to shine through you, and there has to be some manifestation of some works of some sort. You had to be like, is this working for you? Right?
Yeah.
You really do. Otherwise, it's like, how are you better than a Christian? How are you better than anybody else? You're just like everybody else, right? So that's been like the very humbling experience for myself, because and I'll speak from my experience from joining the nation, it's like you think that the world's going to change because you join the nation. Like
the paradigm shifts.
No, your paradigm.
Yeah.
Your individualistic paradigm shifts. And your
subconscious is fed differently.
Everything is different.
Yeah.
Your point of view. And it feels that you get a high from that.
Yeah.
And so what we do, and what I have done, is like, okay, you assume that's because your whole paradigm has shifted, that the universe is going to shift in lockstep with you having that inner revelation.
So I'm a little slow. I accepted Islam twice for myself.
I understand.
I came to the mosque, had a broke down moment where Minister Tony was speaking. I started crying, and I was like, this is where I belong. Like this, because I had left when I was 17. I got the hell out of LA. I got away from everything.
Yeah.
I went out there and partied for years and not years. I was out there for about a year.
Yeah.
I was out there partying, having a good time.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I was wilding out for some more time, like maybe another year or two. And it didn't dawn on me the level of importance it was. Like the Nation of Islam, I knew it was right, but I didn't understand how it was relevant.
Yeah.
And
No.
I didn't understand how it will never go away because it's the only thing that exists that dispels the darkness. Like
Facts.
nothing. There's no other organization that is tailor made to freedom, justice, and equality for Black people specifically.
No. No,
Everybody else can have their freedom, justice, and equality except Black people in this world because
absolutely.
We're the shadow. We're the chattel. We're the
shadow.
Yeah, we're the
seriously
the cattle essentially.
Undertow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was just thinking like there is no reason for us to not be subservient to them. They created this world,
yes,
so that they could be in luxury.
Facts.
And if you want to be in luxury and you don't want to do the work, you need somebody to do the work to uphold your luxury.
Facts.
So they created essentially what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And the path to what we're doing today looks like slavery for a certain amount of years just to break us.
Yeah.
And then give us a sense of peace and comfort to make us think that slavery's ended.
Yeah.
And, give us money that doesn't have any value. Give us, jobs that don't actually help us or teach us or anything like that. Like, being a sports player.
Yeah.
I was watching a TikTok, not TikTok, it was an Instagram video earlier. And the guy was like, the only thing Black people in this country produce is sweat.
Not for real. That's good.
And it was just like, at the end of the
Black
day.
man said that?
Yeah. At the end of the day, we don't have any independence for ourselves.
No.
We don't create anymore. I'm not saying we don't have scientists, we don't have engineers. I'm saying that the vast majority of us are dependent on somebody else for everything that we need.
Yeah.
And we've learned to love that dependence.
Yeah.
And as soon as that dependence goes away, we are going to be stuck.
Yeah.
And, isolated from reality.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to say it's going to be, violent, but I mean, there is no other way to put it because it's going to be a lot of desperate people all at once.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now where it's not just Black people.
No.
We're seeing a lot of Caucasians who are up in arms about it because they put all of their eggs in that basket and that basket fell from the bottom. And now they don't have ways to feed their families. And they thought that this country would supply that. And it does not.
Yeah.
And, Black people are getting their moment in the sun right now because it's entertaining and they gave us these platforms where we have the ability to like show the entertaining part. But as soon as they have no use for that, it's like, as soon as the thing is like the situation in Turkey.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is already crumbling. One quick earthquake to shatter it, we got all
20,000 people then. It's real.
Yeah, we got global warming that's coming all over the world. The weather is about to get real drastic, and the infrastructure is about to start falling down.
It is, and the weather is drastic, and the infrastructure is crumbling.
Yeah,
quite literally.
Yeah, you heard about it was a train in Ohio that. No,
I missed that.
It's crazy, bro. It's like
what happened? No, what happened?
All the neighboring states are cities. One of them has to have. They're all having to be evacuated because this train crashed, and apparently it's leaking out some toxic waste, and it's going into the atmosphere, and it's raining down on people.
Oh, damn.
It's crazy.
When did this happen?
And it was a controlled release. This was like 4 days ago.
Oh, wow.
It was a controlled release because they didn't want it to be like a massive explosion. So they had to release this stuff into the atmosphere.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yeah. And it was like, instead of having a bunch of deaths, now they just got a bunch of people that are displaced.
So people had to move out of their homes?
I mean, well, yeah. If this stuff is in the atmosphere, it's into the water now, it's into the, it's everywhere.
Ohio catastrophe. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's big.
Ohio train derailment. This is big.
This is big.
Man, see, I haven't, the last thing I clearly don't watch the news, but the only thing I knew about was, damn, Allah's here. There's the earthquake, 20,000 dead. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
And so one of my downloads was we got to start training
In what sense? What type of training?
everything.
Well, go on.
So when I said independence, I didn't mean like, we need to go over here and duplicate what they have.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to learn, if you can't feed yourself, not as a community, as a group, but as an individual, if you can't house yourself, build your own shelters or lean-tos or even eventually, a home or something.
Yeah.
If you can't clothe yourself, and I don't mean going into stores and stealing shit. I mean, like, you got to learn how to
manufacture
grow what you
clothes.
need to make your clothes.
For real.
And then make your clothes.
No, for real.
Like, this is, I go back and forth from being very sad to being very excited because there's an opportunity here. That's the excitement. But the fact that we're so far behind,
Yeah.
like, we're not even in agreement that that's necessary yet.
Yeah.
And by the time we are in agreement that that's necessary, it's going to be too late.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pressure, it's actual pressure.
Yeah.
And I feel it physically. It's like, okay, no, there's actual like severe pressure going on my mind, body, and spirit. And that's forcing me to having to be tactical and objective in all of my movements, whether it's work stuff, family stuff, everything. It's like, man, I really have to calculate. I see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just finding out about, I'm going to read this. A train carrying vinyl chloride derailed and exploded near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Crews ignited a controlled burn of toxic chemicals to prevent a much more dangerous explosion. Man, no. Phosgene is a highly toxic gas that can cause vomiting and breathing trouble, and was used as a weapon in the First World War. That's real, man. That's real.
That's in America.
That's in America. That's in America. Man.
This once so-called great nation.
Man. Seriously. So you got that. You got inflation. You've got war in Ukraine still. It's not going to go anywhere. You've got a earthquake in Turkey and Syria.
And on the war,
20K.
On the war in Ukraine, yes, Ukraine and Russia are fighting, but America is funding that war. So if you want to stop the war that you're in because you're starting to see, this is going to take up too much of my resources and it's becoming a problem, you just stop the source. You do what you got to do to end the war from ever happening, like the next phase of it. So Ukraine is only as successful as what we feed them.
I understand.
So essentially it's a war with America.
Yeah. This is wait, you talking about
Russia
and America?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is Ukraine's a proxy.
Well, when you say of course, you and I are thinking about that.
I mean,
the vast majority of Americans are like, that war over there?
Yeah, dumb people. Well, most people understand that like Ukraine's a proxy for
I
America.
Say most people.
Maybe not most people.
I would say more than 60% of people are like, that war over there?
That war over there? Okay.
If they even know that there's a war happening.
I understand. No, you're right. But I think I would say like the intelligent people understand. Like,
how many people are the intelligent people?
I'm trying to think about that. How many of the American masses are of this amount?
In the Nation of Islam, there are three categories. There's the 5%, which are the poor righteous teachers.
Yes.
The 10%, which are orchestrating this whole thing.
Yes.
And the 85%, which are the blind, deaf, and dumb.
So right now, 15 minimum. So how many of the 85 who don't know the knowledge of God, knowledge of self, actually are able to think about the fact that this war is not about
fair and give them 30% of the 85%.
I think that's fair.
That's fair.
I think that's fair. It's generous, but I think it's fair.
So we're still talking about what, less than 50%?
Well, let's do the math. What's 30% of 0.30 times
30% of 85%.
It's 25%. So 25.
25% plus 10 and 5%.
30% of 0.85. Oh wait.
That's 40% of the population.
Wait, time out. Yeah, about 40. But let me just make sure that's right. 0.30 times 0.85. Yeah, about 25. So 25 plus 15, about 40%. 35, 40%. That seems about right.
Yeah.
That could actually understand that it's not about Ukraine. This is literally, we call it NATO. NATO's America. NATO America versus Russia. Period.
Allah sends me the most random conversations. I was talking to a guy who was a Navy SEAL.
Oh, word. On the train?
No, this was at a grocery store. I was having one
Black man, white man?
white guy, having a conversation over
Interesting.
here with an Asian guy and a Mexican lady, and
At the store?
at the grocery store.
What grocery store?
This was about the eggs. The price of the eggs were
That part too.
the eggs were more expensive than the steak. It was like a carton of eggs was $12.99.
Damn.
And a steak was $10.55.
That's insane.
And we were sitting there like, this is crazy. And so I was telling the Asian guy, yeah, it's because there was this something happened with the food where it wasn't allowing the chickens to lay eggs. And this happened over the course of like 3 or 4 months, and only a few farmers started to pay attention to it and stopped feeding that feed and started putting their chickens on other types of feed.
Yeah.
And so their chickens were producing eggs still, but so like you go to the grocery store now, you can go to Whole Foods and they have blue eggs. I've never seen those in a grocery store, like a big grocery store. But yeah, they're having to use different types of eggs other than just the brown and the white.
Wow.
But anyway, so as I'm saying that to the Asian guy, the Latin lady, she looks over and she says, "Wow, I didn't know about that." She's like, "It's also because during the pandemic they had to kill off like 25 million chickens because of the bird flu."
Oh, word.
And so the combination of those two things was something that they could never really anticipate.
Understood.
And so I was having that conversation with them, and then as I bought my $12, $13 carton of eggs, and as I'm walking away, random white guy, he just starts talking to me. He's like, "Man, California is not the same." I was like, "What you mean?"
What do you mean?
He's like, "I lived here before, like 10, 15 years ago, and everybody was pleasant." He's like, "Nowadays, everybody's walking around with these masks on, with stank attitudes, pushing you out the way." He's like,
Facts.
"This isn't California. It's not the California I knew." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is not just a California thing. I think this whole world is getting crazy."
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, you have no idea." I was like, "What do you know that I don't know? Or what do you think that I don't know?" He was like, "Bro, if you knew how bad this country was getting." And he started saying, he was telling me like, he's like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. He's like, and he starts telling me some of his, war stories, some of the things he did just to give me an idea. He's like, "I'm missing my calf right now because of da-da-da-da, and this happened." And
wow.
And I'm just sitting there just like listening because I'm like, there's got to be a point to this conversation.
Yeah, no.
And so
was he all there? Like 100% there? Okay. So cool dude?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good conversation.
About 50, 60 years
So
old.
it wasn't a conversation where you're looking for the X because you actually listened to him.
Yeah, I'm listening to him.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
Yeah, and so like every time so there were times where I was dipping and I was about to try to find the exit, but he would say something that was just like shock value, and he pulled me right back in.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, so
he's like, you turned the corner and the dude that you thought was a statue, it was a dude behind the statue, and the dude shot you. He was like,
wow.
Yeah, so he was just telling me some crazy shit.
Iraq? Where'd he go? Remember?
All over. He was telling me.
I understand.
It's Kosovo.
So he got bodies. He got bodies.
Yeah.
He got bodies.
That was the point of that conversation.
He got bodies.
And so he was just telling me about, he was saying that he called one of his buddies that he served with, who's now in the Senate. And he was saying, "Look, man."
He's a senator?
He's in this Senate. What are the people that, like, it's a whole room of him and they over there? He's a senator. He was a senator. He's a senator. And so he was saying, he's like, "Look, I don't know what you guys are doing down there, but like some of the stuff I'm hearing is crazy." He's like, da-da-da-da. He's like, "Are you guys really spraying da-da-da-da over?" And he was naming these chemicals, and he was saying these chemicals have no purpose in the atmosphere but to sterilize the population.
No, I understand.
And he was saying, "You think it's chemtrails." He's like, "You think it's just dissolving into the air and they're seeding the clouds." He's like, "No, they're literally spraying the entire metropolitan areas with
chemicals,
spermicide, essentially, like aerosol version of spermicide."
Oh, man.
And he was like, he's saying,
the senator told him that?
No, he was yelling at the senator because he heard about this stuff.
Okay, I understood.
And he said that he was trying to reason with the senator and find out what's going on. He's like, I thought this was my buddy. And he was like, "I didn't recognize this guy anymore. This guy, the things he was saying to me, it was like, you're on your own."
Yeah.
He was like, "But when I knew this guy, he was, I'm for the people." And he was like, something that happens in between them being one of us to being one of them has made it so that they don't care what happens to us.
No.
And all of them are in it for themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
He's like, you can't be a government official and a capitalist. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be two different mentalities.
No.
And to me, it was just like,
Damn, that's not surprising, but it's actually good to hear like that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because you got to think you campaign all these lofty promises or whatever, and then you get some level of knowledge about what the fuck is really going on. Like the fact that you really have no power. Like the people that run the show don't get elected, and they're going to be spraying chemicals, and there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is take that information and protect your own empire and your own family. Then that's what you do.
Yeah.
Then it's like, shit, you niggas are on your own, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm worried about my survival because now I know. Now that the cover's been lifted, the veil's been lifted, I'm like, oh, this is not a game.
If I don't worry about my survival, then I don't survive.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if all of our government officials are thinking that way,
And I think that's reasonable to assume that like they are.
I'm pretty sure they all got bunkers.
No, there we go.
The vast majority of us ain't got no type of bunker whatsoever.
No sir. No sir.
And it's, the reality of the situation is we're not even thinking that far ahead.
No.
If you were to have this conversation with somebody, they would be concerned about their cell phones, concerned about, being able to eat out.
Yeah.
Like this telltale sign of everybody during the pandemic going crazy over toilet paper.
Yeah.
There's thousands of forms of paper, but you're worried about your comfort.
Facts. No, for real. For real.
Like worst case scenario, get a wet rag. Like there's
Take a
things
shower.
that you can do.
Take a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so they've broken us down to these beings that only care about ourselves.
Nah, for real.
And how would our government represent us if they were any different?
Their government is like that.
Yeah.
So people can, and then they get more knowledge and they care even more about themselves.
I mean, government represents the people. They're just people.
They're just people.
If you only care about yourself, why would they be?
Why would they be any different? They're not. Except they're more narcissistic because it takes a certain degree of narcissism to actually want to campaign for yourself and tell people that you're there for them when you're really about yourself. So
I don't even think it's narcissism. I think it's just it's understanding that this is just a game.
Yeah.
And do you want to be the one holding the game piece, or do you want to be one of the pieces on the board?
Not for real.
And so, they made that decision because they see themselves as being able to be one of the ones that hold the piece.
Or closer to the people that hold the pieces, man.
They think that they'll be one of the people holding the piece.
I think that's reasonable.
No,
I agree.
And so for me, it's just like, I don't like that game.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to play that game.
No. So what game do you play?
There is no name for the game that I'm going to play.
Allah?
It's not a game. Allah is reality.
That's a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as we're playing the game, we're going to get, go the way of the game.
See, Allah's a reality. We live that reality, but that still means we have to operate with objectives and you have to move and we have to move. So I think within that, we are playing a game. The game is I guess the game is nation building.
Do for self.
Do for self. That's a game. That's a game. That's a game with you because all a game requires is objectives and obstacles.
And as altruistic,
got that.
As altruistic as it seems, where people feel like I'm supposed to save the world.
Yeah.
Realistically, the way that you save the world is to save yourself.
That's right.
Until you're in a position of safety, until you're out of this position of survival mode, how are you helping anybody else?
It's a good question.
How can you help anybody else?
That's right.
And when I say anybody else, I mean, you have to be so secure within your position. You have to have enough for yourself, your children, your wife, everybody that's in your circle that you love has to be straight.
Yeah, no,
and
for
then
real.
You're safe.
No, for real.
If they're not all straight, you're not safe.
That's right.
Because as soon as something goes down, they're going to come to you and take your resources.
That's right.
So they often have to all have their own resources. Then you can worry about taking care of the rest of the world.
No, for real, bro. No, that's a very sobering assessment of reality. It's like you gotta put your own, what's it called, mask on first. Your own the thing that comes from the airplane.
When you go to the airplane, they tell you to put
shit on first.
Even if you have an infant next to you, you can't put the mask on the infant if you die.
Yeah.
So you put the mask on first.
Yeah.
So that you can be
breathe.
of sane mind and you're not smashing your infant in the face because you can't.
Because you can't breathe. Yeah.
So put the mask on yourself. Then you're in a position where you can actually think. Then put the mask on your child, the one that's the most important to you, which is your family. Then you can start worrying about, hey, put your mask on,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you say that because Allah's being that sentiment that you just exuded is what Allah's been telling me. He's like, hey man, You got to take care of your family. Without a family, there is no nation. So you can't skip steps
to become a hero.
No, you got to take care of your family, bro.
It don't work that way.
It don't work that way. Otherwise, you're gonna have a nation but no family, and then your generation is where are they?
Yeah.
Oh, Satan got them.
Yeah, because that's what happens. A lot of times, these men who have this altruistic mentality of I'm going to save the world, lose their family in the process.
Yeah.
And they don't have no lineage, no one to continue their work. Like if you don't have nobody to continue your work, what's the purpose?
No, for real, bro. And a lot of them really been hitting this home with me. It's like, okay, so you put your family off to the side for either wealth, power, fame, fortune, right? What good are any of those if you have nothing to pass it down to because you skip steps?
Yeah.
So I'm really like, oh shit, man, how much of this power did I put before Allah and what He really wants? Like, bro, I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
And it's a catch, right? Because it's like, what's the purpose of having all of that if you don't have the family? But then what's the purpose of having the family if you don't have all of that?
It's real. No, for real. It's real.
Yeah.
No. And oh man, yeah, it's what is the approach like when you're securing family, getting wealth? It's a balancing act.
It is.
Right?
It's total
and then
balance.
One of the bars you released before this podcast was about not sacrificing your purpose for why you are here for the comfort of a female.
Yeah.
Right? And that's very real it's a very real dilemma for us men.
It was an analogy just popped. Like, it popped in my head when I was writing this down in my notes. Like, I think this was yesterday I was writing it down. And it was like, imagine yourself climbing up a mountain. At the top of the mountain, you can see all around you. And being able to see all around you gives you the vantage point of, I see the world. I know who I am. I know what skills I have. Now I know how to put what the world needs and what I can do together. That's called purpose, right?
Yeah.
If you try to get to the top of that mountain, and you've already found a woman that you love, a woman's job isn't to necessarily help you get to the top of that mountain.
No, it's not. It's
her job is to inspire you to continue to work, whatever.
No, for real. No, for real.
But in the meantime, you have to maintain her safety and comfort.
You have to.
So you can't continue to climb if she's not capable of it.
No.
You have to maintain her as your priority once you start that mission.
Yeah.
Because you took on that job, and that becomes more important than whatever goals
for real.
or aspirations you have in your life.
Yeah, man.
So if she's not on board with you getting to the top of the mountain and figuring out your purpose, you're not going to do it.
That's right.
You know?
That's real.
And that's the realization of us being out here and perpetually dating and having a bunch of, children.
Seriously.
All of that before we figured out who we are in this world, what our purpose is.
Talk to him. Talking to me, man.
Me too.
It's a very real dilemma, and it's understandable on both sides. It's like, they're not configured to see the mountain and the purpose that we are. They're like, I need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
My children need to be taken care of. Like, fuck the bullshit.
And
what are you doing? Do it for self. I don't care. What are you doing?
This whole world is designed by somebody else who saw their purpose.
Facts.
So why would they want everybody that's holding their purpose up to find their own purpose?
Yeah, that's right.
They want you to hold them up while they ascend the mountain. They don't want you to ascend the mountain and start creating your own destiny. Like, that's not. So you spend years in adolescence and going through their schools, being indoctrinated to their system.
You're talking about Rome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Indoctrinated to their system in order to help perpetuate their system.
Facts. Understandably so.
Yeah. So you can't be upset with them or
Not
frustrated. Like, you
Rome's gonna Rome, bro. Rome's gonna Rome.
Game recognized game.
No, for real.
So once you recognize that
Rome's a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you recognize that you've already fallen for the trap, you have to figure out how to slowly peel yourself back from it.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't be so upset and still survive in this world.
No, for real.
You'll go crazy.
No, you will. And then what I've noticed is, like, you can't, once you have that realization, you can't just make an abrupt change and expect it to work. It's like, okay,
not reality.
It's not reality, bro.
No.
And I have a track record of abrupt changes, and Allah's like, okay, bro, but that's not going to get you to where you want, because abrupt changes, that's not tactful. That's just you trying.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's just a feeling.
It is a feeling.
It's reactionary.
Talk to him, bro.
You know, you got to rise above emotions into the thinking of God. God is methodical. God is planned out. You know, God is the slow grind.
Chess on chess on chess.
Yeah.
Layers upon layers of chess, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. And Allah's giving me that message. He's like, he has me playing chess with my daughter. I'm like, no. Allah's like, bro. I'm like, no, stop that. Stop that. No, you really have to. You have to be. We get it. You grew up in Rome. You joined the nation. You want to do all this fanciful shit, and it wouldn't happen overnight because you a god body. It's not reality, bro.
Potentially.
No, right?
Yeah.
No, for real. Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not reality, bro.
Yeah.
You just one nigga trying to be God.
I mean, you potentially are God.
Yeah. Potentially.
You have the ability within you.
Facts.
But you have to qualify yourself.
Fuck, man, correct.
And you know, that takes.
You gotta train.
Yeah.
You gotta train. You gotta train to be a black belt. You think you gotta train to be God?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You have to understand that you're living in a matrix before you can pull yourself out of it.
That's right.
And then once you realize you're living in the matrix and you pull yourself out of it, you have to figure out how to work within it because it's all you know. It's what you were raised in.
Facts, bro.
But also secure, you know, what they call it, Zion for yourself.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And Zion is your peace of mind. Zion is your heaven. Like that's essential for the latter years of your life. But in the meantime, fighting and learning and understanding and all of that is essential to growth and to development.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
You can't reach the potential of God if you're not even over your traumas. Like
that's right. Hear about it. And man, this is very revelatory, this conversation, because think about this. If you have a family before you actually see the mountain in your purpose and what you want to do to satisfy both worlds, the woman who wants comfort and security first and foremost, you try to rush the process of the peak of the mountain to satisfy your desire of your purpose and also her.
But as you're rushing, you're leaving her behind.
Exactly.
Leaving her exposed.
That's right.
And the farther away from her you get, the farther away from you she is. He's like,
talk to him, bro.
You know, you getting up to the top of the peak and she looking at you like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm down here with Satan.
Yeah, I'm
talking to Satan.
I'm fighting in this world, and you supposed to be my comforter. Where you at?
You out here in Zion without me.
Yeah, so that
I'm gonna go talk to Satan. What's up, Satan? What you got for me?
That reality keeps most men. The average guy is stuck in the middle of that mountain.
Yeah, boom. Yes.
And he'll never reach the top.
Yep.
You know, that's the reality of the situation.
So what? How do you get to the top? Once you have these revelations, what's the move?
Learning and studying for yourself and realizing the truth. That allows you to get the strength to put her on your back and slow grind.
Slow grind.
That's slow grind. Reality.
That's the reality, bro.
If you're
that's
smart,
a slow grind.
If you're smart, you do it without the wife, right?
Yeah.
You can climb up that trek without the wife. You just got your backpack, you got your little axe and your hammer or whatever. That's the smart way.
Yeah.
But if you've already found yourself a wife and you're already in that, you got to still make the way up.
No, for real.
It's a slow grind.
It's a slow grind.
One step at a time.
And I think you have to be comfortable and have patience to withstand the pressure of the slow grind.
I came to this realization that
it's real.
I already don't have children right now, but I plan to have some, soon.
Yeah.
And I found my purpose, like 2019, 2020. I found what it is that I'm supposed to be here for. Like, and it became succinct for me. It became like, oh, yeah. So everything that you did led up to this. But I've also come to the realization that I might not complete it in my lifetime.
Yeah. No, for real, bro.
And I have to not only be fine with that, but I have to train either my children or whoever it is going to come behind me to complete it.
That's right, bro.
Because the reality is I don't know what Allah plans for me. I know I'm planning. He's planning, but he's the best at planning.
That's right.
So, yeah, I got to.
And you try to layer in your hasty decision-making on top of his planning. And it's like, all right, good luck, bro.
Yeah.
And that's his attitude. It's like, I hate it. Like, okay, well, you're going to outplay chess me, bro? Like, it's not going to work.
I also have this, like, because I'm a Gemini, so my mind goes in multiple places. I have this idea or this mentality that, like, just because you want it don't mean you're going to get it, right?
No, for real, bro.
So it's like, if my idea is thought out enough, then it will come true. If I don't think it out enough, then it probably won't.
Yeah.
So, all I do is work towards the plan and put together the plan as best I can and figure out the A, B's, and C's of it, because I got the Z. I can see the Z crystal clear. Like, it's beautiful and it's amazing, and that's heaven on earth to me. Like,
I understand.
it exists in my head. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Right? It's a dispensation of time that I'm in right here, and there's a dispensation of time where I'm in right here.
It could be 50 years, brother.
I don't.
Longer.
It could be longer.
It could be. No, for real.
The way I feel about it is that we're in such a severe time right now that it's necessary tomorrow.
No, yes. And that's a feeling, like you said.
Exactly.
You can't make decisions based on feelings.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And that's exactly where I'm at with it.
No, for real, bro. No.
It's like, do something every day towards it.
That's right.
Put together a plan, my brother was telling me that his son is turning 13 and we need to do something for him, some kind of a rites of passage program. And I was like, it just clicked. It was like, why haven't I done this before? Why haven't I thought about the rites of passage program? So I just spent like a whole week just putting together this plan, because my mom's already done a rites of passage program for young girls. She's done it all over the city of Los Angeles.
Nice.
She's been doing it. I'm like,
13-year-olds? Or does it depend?
I don't think she has the age range.
Understood.
I think she just goes into school, and whoever is interested in participating, she does something for them.
I don't know if she did that. That's what's up.
She's been in Dorsey and a couple of different schools.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And so I was talking to her, and she was like, I've always wanted to do something for the boys. Nobody's doing anything for the boys. And I was like,
interesting.
This is my birthright.
No, for real.
This is my birthright.
No, for real.
I need to do this. And as I thought it out, it was like, it don't really cost me nothing.
Nah.
This is something I could do that's in my capability. This is C, or on my A, B, and C. This is something I can actually see myself putting together. And I started, and it's like, this is beautiful. And I was like, I love it. It was like, and I was talking to my sister. I was like, I don't understand business like y'all. Yeah. But I know that when I work with y'all, we're successful. Yeah. It's like, can you help me with this? Yeah. And she was like, I would love to. Jalila? Yeah. So nice. Jalila's helping me out with the business side of it, coming up with the proposal. She's like, good. So this is the plan of action. This is what I need you to do. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Yeah.
So, what's her sign? When's her birthday?
Taurus.
Oh,
her and
perfect.
Both Taurus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. I'm Absolutely. The black sheep because I'm the Gemini.
No, man, that's a super black sheep. And your mom, what's your mom's sign? Capricorn?
Sagittarius?
When's her birthday?
November 29th.
Yeah, Sagittarius. Wow, interesting. Huh.
Yeah, my dad's a Cancer.
Understood.
June 30th, I think.
Yeah, it's Cancer. Yeah. Yeah. So that's Fahim's purpose. That's her purpose. It's just like they see the method.
Yeah.
They provide the method. You provide the vision and the ideas, man.
And I never had an idea that I could actually see being practical. And so now that I have an ultimate goal, I can start filling in the blanks of all the little ideas that help me get there. Yeah. And I see this as one of them. And it's just like, I've been, excited for the last week or so. Just putting this together.
Good. Yeah. So it's just like, it's okay to be, it's good to be excited. I'm talking to myself too. Good to be excited. Just don't allow your excitement and the feelings that you conjure with this excitement to just delude reality. It's like, it's time. It still takes time. Just because it feels good right now doesn't mean it's like you're automatically going to have the kingdom at hand because it feels good in this present moment. It's like, no, exude that energy to plan and to take another step.
So a big part of my thing, and this was heartbreaking for me, right? Yeah. A big part of my plan was I wanted to take them out there, kill a chicken, show them how to, cut the chicken and everything. Yeah. And then I had the realization after calling everybody I know that would have any kind of proximity to chickens that there's a chicken shortage. I was just like, you're not going to do a chicken this first time.
Not
and
this
I'm
time.
just like, God.
Not this time, man.
That would have been so good.
Not this time.
They would never forget the chicken moment.
Yeah.
And then I was maniacal with my chicken plan. It was going to be horribly devious. I was like, 1 meal a day for everybody so that we kill the chicken in the morning and then the only thing they have for dinner is chicken. So they have to eat the chicken. And I was like, I'm going to make the beastiest chicken soup and all the bold ones are going to come first and all the scared ones are going to come next and everybody's going to eat the chicken. Yeah. And they'll be over their fear of chicken all in one day.
Sure.
And then the next day they'll kill their own chicken. And I'll cook those chickens for dinner.
Cute plan, man.
Huh?
That's a cute plan.
It was cute, right?
That's a cute plan.
I was like, I can make this shit happen. This should be dope. They'll come away from this having it. But I was just like, no.
Reality. Start simple, bro. No. Yeah, for real.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. And that Allah's Cole like that, bro.
Yeah,
it's
he
like
is.
he's always on that type of time. It's like you don't got to overcomplicate stuff. Like, just stay connected to me. Take a step. Take a step. Don't stay stagnant. Take a step. And don't assume that. Don't use your ego and your feelings to make hasty decisions.
Yeah.
Because that's really, it's ego. It's ego. It's like, oh, I want to be the man right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to go through the mud of trial and error. Like every business has to go through that, the shit moments where it's like, oh, well, this is work. No one's coming. No one's buying my stuff, etc. Every good product, every good business has had to go through that.
Yeah.
Niggas don't want to go through that.
No, that's
they aren't willing to go through that.
They're not made for it.
That's right.
Right now, we live in a society that makes things convenient.
That's right.
So difficulty is like, what?
Yeah, that's right.
Why?
Yeah.
You know? And you don't understand that every trial is Allah giving you something. Like that's a gift.
That's right.
Every trial is Allah making you stronger for whatever comes next.
That's right.
And if you're trying to be ultimate and you're trying to be the strongest,
I'm trying to be God. I'm trying to be God body.
You don't have a lot of trials.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be, then you'll have an easy, cushy
That's
life.
right.
And,
You be a regular dude.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's really okay. That's understandable.
It is.
Because this mountain, this God body mountain, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And Allah is like, just give me like a slight taste of it. It's like, okay, bro, you talk. Okay, you black man is God. Cool. All right. Why don't you try to actually start walking in that God body path, bro? Here's the first little trial. Oh, you tripping, huh?
I had a conversation. It was me and my buddy, and we were talking about how she was saying, it was me and my buddy and his homegirl, and she was saying, she's like, y'all call yourselves gods, but y'all not really doing nothing.
Hey.
And I was like,
hey, bro.
I said, I've never called myself God.
Yeah.
I call my brothers God. And I said, the reason why I don't call myself God is because I understand that the reason why I'm calling them God is because I want to see God in them.
No, fair.
I want to see them reach that potential. God, in the Bible, God says, ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. And people go off that part, like people who are God body, quote unquote, they go off that part of ye are all gods.
Yeah.
They don't focus on the children of the Most High God.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, so when I say God, I'm not inflating my ego by assuming that I'm someone, bigger than I am. When I say God, I'm trying to inflate their ego so that they can understand that they're bigger than what the world tells them they are.
Facts, man.
All praise is due to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah, bro.
To the Most High.
Yeah, all praise is due to Allah.
I don't take that God to heart at all. Like, I understand.
Yeah. And even like when I've been meditating, I've been like dialing back on saying I'm a God. I'm like, no, all praise due to Allah, bro. I'm like, nah, Allah.
It has to be all praise due to Allah.
All praise due to Allah, bro. Allah, you got it, man. You got it, bro. Nah, I'm tripping. Sorry. You got it. You got it. Just don't let me F it up.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you for everything that you've given me. Thank you for bringing this point. Please don't allow me to blow it up on some ego bullshit. Please. Please.
I've been going through some serious trials lately too. I've been that the money circulates a lot slower than it has in the past. And
understand?
I got sick.
Oh, that's right.
For that month.
Yeah.
And my job, the way it's set up, they don't give a good goddamn. If you hear, you hear. If you not, you not.
I feel you.
And so, I had to do a whole lot of things to try to make some money up. And I'm still doing some things to try to make some money up.
I feel you, bro.
And I previously, like, say this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have took it hard and I would have been upset and I would have like, why is this happening to me? But I'm starting to understand that these are trials.
That's right.
And if I'm not grateful for these trials, then that's saying that I don't want to grow.
That's right.
I don't want to reach potential. I just want to be happy and comfortable.
That's right, bro.
So I've had to
It's the trials that stretch your potential, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That force you to pull within. Pull on a lot and then pull within. And you're like, okay, now I got to pull on that side of me I didn't know was there. But the pressure of circumstance forced me to find that peace.
Yeah. And it's like, the other part of it is my wife. She's such a beautiful wife to have, like, right? So, like, previously, years ago, she would have been so upset. She would have been sad about the fact that I got sick and wasn't able to go to work. Even though she wants me at home and she loves me being at home, she would have also been like, but we don't have.
Nah, I feel you.
But
that's her job. That's literally her job. That's her job, bro.
Yeah. But as she's growing, she's being like, you ain't never let me down before.
It's real.
you know, even when you don't got nothing, you still make sure that we got food.
Yeah, no,
we
you
got
you figure shit out.
We got shelter.
That's right.
Like, and it's like, that's such a beautiful moment for me to have that realization that, like, you know, even if I'm not doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, I'm still able to maintain a semblance of, you know, our livelihood.
That's right.
I'm still able to, you know, figure it out, whatever that means.
That's right.
And, you know, I feel blessed by that. Allah gave me that realization and helped me through this point, you know?
And that's what a real man is resourcefulness. It's like, okay, well, hellfire is raining down.
Yeah.
I still gotta provide. I still gotta hold it down.
Yeah.
Ain't no excuses, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't no excuses. All right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna eat. I got it.
I told her we're not going to Savior's Day this year, and she was devastated.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, "No, we going to Savior's Day." And I was like, "Okay."
Cool.
And so now we're going to Savior's Day.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
I was the best of knowers.
Yeah, you figured a way out.
She figured it out. She helped me. She was my helpmate.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's her job. Yeah. And you listen, and I'll see y'all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's everyone, especially those of faith, everyone's catching smoke. Yeah. Earthquakes. Everyone, it's the judgment.
Yeah.
So what do we taught? That the judgment occurs within. It's the self-accusing spirit. So on top of having to deal with the external pressure, we're all like looking within and being like, what did I do to get me into this situation? That's literally all me, right? All of us are going through that little exercise right now.
Multiple streams of revenue ain't revenuing like they supposed to.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, well, how have my prior choices and decisions led me to this point? Yeah. How am I going to confront the reality of that?
Yeah.
And what am I going to do about it? And, you know, the more severe your prior choices and sins and transgressions were, the harder it is to overcome. And that's the heavier that weight is. So that's all it is. This is not judgment on anybody. This is just literally what it is. Everyone's forced to look within. Yeah. To determine their responsibility in their current circumstance. That's the judgment. That's that self-accusing spirit. It's God within you letting you know what you've done to put yourself in this current situation that you're in. Yeah. Daily, and waking up to that daily, and not being able to like delude yourself and look elsewhere and like, no, bro, nigga, it's on you now. So what you gonna do about it?
Put your foot to the grindstone and keep working.
That's right. Just keep working. Yeah. Keep working. But like I'm you know, these recent episodes have been Allah's been very like Allah. He's been very Allah with like how because we started with what was the last episode about? You remember?
75, right?
Yes, but what was it? What did we talk about? What was the main thing? It's a focus.
It's not my strong suit.
Focus.
Okay.
Focus is mastery. Mastery is God was the name of the episode because we talked about the need to focus. Yeah. Especially when you're toggling all this stuff. And
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was big. No, and we talked about, I'm going to be very clear. Us focusing on what we need to do, prioritizing and execution, and actually bringing back meditation. That was our takeaway. That was our homework. And I did do that. And it actually has helped me because now I wake up and I'm like, okay, there's this specific strategic plan. Sunday's my day, which I strategize and I execute. I just make it. This is what this week looks like. This is what these blocks of time are going to be used for. These are my priorities. So it's necessary to have these focuses. Otherwise, fuck a plan. If you can't focus on your plan.
I think that was the reason why I got my ass beat so bad because I didn't.
Hey, bro.
We had the conversation. I loved it. I went back and told my wife, look, we're going to start meditating once a week. And then we're going to, go from there. And she was like, okay, let's do it. And I just did not follow through.
There you go. Now you know. And you pay the consequence of that. Yeah. You got sick, right?
Once you get to a certain level, you can't go backwards.
No.
Once you come to an understanding, you can't unknow that information.
No, bro. And you pay the consequence of that because you put one intention out into the universe.
I got chills when you started talking about you brought it up again, focus.
Right now?
I was like, that's why I'm going through.
That's why you fucked up. Yeah. That's why you fucked up.
I'm not focused.
Yeah. No, you didn't focus,
still being scatterbrained, still out here just surviving.
No, bro.
Yeah.
So this is my reminder to you, and especially when you bring it here. This is what the whole purpose of this podcast is for. Yeah. This is why it's God's podcast.
It's the Ascension podcast.
It's the Ascension podcast, but it's God using us as God to each other. Let us know what's up. Yeah. So you hit me with and you hit me up with not forgetting your wife part, and I'm hitting you up like, yo, don't fuck around with this focus shit, bro.
No. Yeah. That's it.
You have dope ideas. Focus on your plan. Actually take the time to map out and focus and stop jumping. Distraction. Talking to myself too.
No,
And
I got you.
You know, I go through periods where I get distracted. But now I'm like, all right, Allah. And Allah, he's been dope. He's been giving me like, I asked for like signs, and he's like, okay, bro, this is what you do, bro. And he gave me a dream where I was like, oh yeah, this is what I love to do. So fucking do it.
Yeah. That's it. Do it.
Right? Do it. Stop putting other bullshit between doing the stuff. And this is what, after our episode, me and T will be talking about. If we went to focus, me and you, and then me and Timu and myself were more about integrity, but mostly not doing the shit that we want to do in place of the shit that we need to do. And we understand what we need to do by focusing on our purpose and our plan. So if we putting all the other bullshit in front of that plan and distracting ourselves, we're being fucking boys.
Yeah.
You know, because a boy does what he wants. A man does what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And given what we're seeing in this world, the war of Armageddon has begun. Feel me?
So you want to know something funny?
What's up?
I'm having the conversation with not only my brother,
Fahim.
Yeah, fine. But also Marquise, and we're talking about what I want to do for the boys as far as killing the chicken.
Yeah, word.
And as I say it, Fahim's having the conversation with me. He's like, damn, I never did that myself. And it clicked for me like, yeah, I ain't never did that.
Me neither.
And it's like, the idea of having a rites of passage from boyhood into adulthood, having that definite line, I've never really experienced it. My mom took me through a rites of passage program, and it was an amazing situation, but I can't say that there was like a crystal clear line for me of becoming from a boy into a man. And when I think about rites of passage from, back in time, like for example, even though the movie was a fictional movie, The 300. Remember they would send the boys out into the wilderness, and they would have to kill a wolf.
Oh, word.
Like that was their rites of passage. You come back from killing a wolf, and you realize you're not a boy no more.
Yeah.
You got to start doing what men do.
Yeah.
And I think that is so vital.
Absolutely.
I think that I feel like at this point, if I could get that off the ground, I could be happy with that.
I feel you.
And having the rest of my blueprint laid out, like written out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do that.
That's what I'm on.
And don't quit your day job.
Of course not.
Yeah, right?
But the reason why I love the program, because I could take people out there for 3 days.
I see.
It could be a weekend thing.
Yeah.
We go do that, and then we come back to reality and do what we got to do out here.
Nah, for real, bro.
So like, yeah, I just got to figure out exactly when is the best time to make that happen.
For real, bro.
And then just do it.
No, and just do it. Yeah. And the mistakes I've made in life is like, having ideas like this and thinking that I have to sacrifice everything and jump to that idea alone.
No.
And then being like, Allah got me so I could do it. And Allah's like, bruh, I got you that job that you need to survive. And you're going to quit that shit to go some shit you just thought of because it feels good, bro?
Nah.
No, hell. And then use me as your excuse?
You can't put everything on your new business.
No, bro, no.
New business takes years to grow and cultivate.
It takes years to graduate from college, and that don't even mean anything, bro. Yeah. Like, you fucking new business, bro?
Yeah, business, you until you've gone through the years of understanding all the ways that you could possibly fail, you won't understand all the ways that you can succeed.
No, facts, man.
Facts. So like you gotta fail a bunch in order to get to that level of success.
No, for real, bro.
And any business venture that you're gonna go through, you're gonna take loss. You're gonna take, you're gonna have issues. So I was talking to my sister, and she was saying, make sure you get insurance. I was like,
what type of insurance?
Gotta figure that part out. Like
health insurance?
She was saying whenever we take the kids out and we don't have both parents or one parent with them, we make sure we always get insurance. So if you're taking a bunch of boys out into the wilderness and y'all finna go do some stuff, get insurance.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they got insurance on that last event we did. I was like, so okay, I got to get insurance. I'm going to call them and figure out what I need to get exactly.
Word. Yeah.
But that's definitely going to be an important thing. Like, I think that's probably going to be the most expensive thing, probably.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it, I've figured out how I can do it with either them putting in their own money or, eventually it could be donation based once word gets out. I think it's a good enough cause that people would be interested in supporting.
For real, bro. And you got to think is like, you're putting out these future plans.
Yeah.
No. Concepts, ideas, not plans. Plans are different than that.
Yeah.
Because that's just the future. And it's the realm of potential, right?
Yeah.
So here we are right now. The bridge to your potential is a plan.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what we do, we have present time circumstances going on, jobs
Yeah.
that we may or may not like, but we need to survive.
Yeah.
That's the rule of the universe. Right now, you need money to buy things to survive.
Facts.
No way getting around that.
Nope.
Niggas have tried. Now they're homeless
Yeah.
on Skid Row because they thought they were above the law. So that being said, circumstances, jobs, potential future, right? So the calculation is never cut off what is sustaining you right now to go to the potential.
That's not reality.
It's not reality. No. It's not reality.
No.
It's not. It feels good.
As you climb the mountain and you take on other responsibilities, you've added those to your weight.
Yeah.
You can't negate climbing the mountain. You have to put those on your back with your responsibilities and still make your way up.
That's right.
And so, like, yeah, the job that you got, it might feel like a burden, but it's sustaining your life. That's water.
Right.
You need
That's
that.
water. You need that.
You can't climb the mountain without water. Just because the water's heavy, don't mean you can put it down.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. And a lot of times we make those abrupt choices like that, and then we blame the job for being a job.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're not taking responsibility for making that irresponsible choice. You're blaming the job, bro.
That's
so
nice.
been there, done that. And
Yeah,
I'm like, we all have. And that's a part of growing up and realizing it's like, no, there's no escaping the realities of life.
No.
There's no escaping gravity. There's no escaping time. There's no shortcuts.
Those are the laws of nature.
Those are the laws of nature, bro.
Yeah.
Those are the laws of nature. And it's like in this universe, there's no such thing as an easy buck, easy dollar.
Mm-mm.
That's why business is hard. Because if it was easy, a nigga would have done it already.
Yeah.
A nigga would have been at McDonald's. Niggas would have been Whole Foods. What are you doing that's better than what's currently out there? And how could you make money from it right now to sustain your life?
Yeah.
These are the questions that you need to be asking at the jump.
Yeah.
Before you quit your fucking job. Right?
That's the vantage point of being at the top of the mountain. You get to see what the world needs, see what your skills are, and then create it. That's called purpose.
Right. No, for real.
You know?
And
some people got to look from halfway up the mountain. You don't get the vantage point from the top.
but it's a vantage point. It's like at least you're looking.
It's a better vantage point than not having climbed it all. Like,
that's right.
You know?
That's right.
Some people got stuck in jail at the foot of the mountain.
That's right.
Some people died before they even put their boots on.
Yep.
So
yeah. you quit what was sustaining you to jump to where you can't get to yet because you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And you drowned.
It happens.
Or you're not drowned. You swim back to shore. And that's what in my dreams Allah actually shows me, like, bro, like, you made that leap. Now you're in the water. I'll put you back, your ass back to the shore, nigga. Back to the shore.
Stop being so dramatic.
Stop being so Stop being so dramatic.
Yeah.
I quit. Save me, Allah. Let's go build the kingdom. And like everyone just gets behind you and rallies and shit, and everyone just gives you money. No, for real. No, for real. It's like, what you really thought was gonna happen, bro?
Yeah.
Like because you quit your job, that just gonna magic
everything. Somebody else is gonna be as willing just because you did.
It's a reality, bro. It's a reality.
Even my idea of having people give donations, it's like by the time I get to a point where people will be willing to give me donations, I have to be so insulated that I don't need them.
That's right.
I can't depend on donations.
Yeah.
That's not reality.
That's right.
You know, that's a lesson I've learned from just being a member of the Nation of Islam. Like, we have to have businesses. The businesses of the believers are what hold the Nation of Islam up.
For real.
It's not the donations on Sunday meeting.
No.
That don't keep the doors open or the lights on. That's not the reality.
No, sir.
You know?
No, sir. Yeah. And it's business is just activity.
Yeah.
Right? It's activity, it is exchange, and it's the basic building block of a civilization. It's like if you can exchange energy with one another, how are you going to replace Rome, nigga?
Somebody was talking to me, they was like,
you fucking serious?
Like, so you're telling me that the white man's world is gonna end and y'all are just gonna take over for civil engineers? Y'all are gonna be astrophysicists? Y'all are gonna be all of the doctors?
Talk to him, bro. Who raised that question?
This is his buddy I argue with online.
Black man?
He's half black, half white.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
He's right though.
No, he's facts. And I was just like, no, we're gonna be monkeys.
Then we gonna be niggas, bro.
We're gonna be monkeys. We're gonna start from the bottom and fight and
That's real.
It's gonna be crazy.
So you got to think like this transition is not gonna be lights off here, lights on here. It's like no.
Yeah, it's gonna be dark for a minute.
It's gonna be lights are gonna dim. They're gonna dim.
Because nobody's training right now to feed, clothe, or shelter themselves. Nobody's training in that. So that's gonna have to be learned on the ground in the survival
I'm sure
situation.
there are people that
When I say nobody, I mean like the vast majority.
Oh well, hell no.
And so those who are, they can't prepare a place for everybody.
No.
Like that's not realistic. They could probably take a couple, but the vast majority of people are going to be up shit's creek. That's just the reality.
It's reality.
So, we can do the best that we can. That's all we can hope to do.
That's it.
And make ourselves more aware and learn about what's happening in the world around us, because as this thing crumbles, the people who are going to be most prepared for what's about to happen are the people who are paying attention.
That's right.
And people who see the things that are happening as they happen.
Yeah, and then make moves according to circumstances as they change, like earthquakes and eggs being $12 a dozen.
Yeah.
Right? And
you got to eat less eggs.
No, for real. Yeah, no, seriously.
Or grow some chickens.
And the thing, when the pandemic first hit, you and I both went on like, oh, we gotta get prepared, we gotta buy shit. That urgency, right? I was canning, I was going berserk, and then eventually, like that adrenaline wore off, and I'm like, okay, kind of went back to normal. So I'm like, what's the new balance of urgency that's gonna get me to like actually want to like go back to prep mode? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't here right now. Like, I'm not prepping right now.
I think prep mode, when you're in infinite prep mode, it's emergency. It's get everything.
Yeah, for real.
Once you get to a level of understanding and you're like in your adolescence, you start to realize that prep mode is continuous.
Facts.
You're eating your prepped food and you're putting more prepped food to replace the food that you're eating.
Boom.
Because all these people that bought bags and bags of rice, if you're not eating your bags and bags of rice, you're having a problem.
Yeah.
You're going to have infestations and bugs. And
rats.
Spoilage and all kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So, that's a reality.
Yeah.
And so I started breaking down my bags of rice and beans like a while ago.
No, for real. Me too.
Put them in Ziploc baggies and
Yeah, I sell mine. Yeah, I hustle. That's what my business is for. So now I'm like, okay, that's the answer. So it's like you use, you replace. It's a balancing act. It's not this dramatic shit, bro. No, for real. That's the answer. It's like, niggas, why do all your choices got to be fucking dramatic?
Well,
quitting jobs.
Part of the drama was
shutting down Restaurant Depot.
Part of the drama was realizing that I was supposed to be prepared all the way already.
I feel
you. And it was like, you are slipping.
No.
And to the degree that you were slipping is the degree that you will be caught.
Yeah.
And so I went dramatic and I went and bought like crazy amounts of shit. I got a whole room dedicated. Like I'm ready. Like,
yeah, I understand.
But at the same time, now I'm cutting back because now I'm eating all that stuff and I'm replacing what I need to and keeping it realistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And doing that also helps me understand how long things last. So if I'm eating every day, this bag of beans is gonna last me a certain amount of time. Like,
yeah, that's real. Yeah.
But yeah, it's it is not a game. But it is. You got to learn the strategies.
Yeah. Your key word, your key phrases. You keep it real.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole, like, the sense of where we got is like, keep it real.
Yeah.
When it comes to making choices, be grounded in reality. Stop making them based on ego, feeling good,
and fear,
reactionary fear. Make them based on reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stop jumping to theatrics and drama, bro. And thinking that you being drama is like all of a sudden now you're a fucking hero and Allah's just gonna come save you. That's what it comes down to, right? He's like, oh, I made this choice. Allah's gonna come get me. He's like, no, nigga. I'm like, what the fuck?
The problem isn't being a hero. The problem is we all want to be superheroes.
For real.
You're a hero every day. You got children, you got a wife, you got responsibilities. You're a hero every day.
Bro. Yeah.
Somebody needs something from you and you take care of that need or anticipate it before they need it. That's a hero.
Yeah, man.
But wanting to be a superhero is problematic if you haven't gained any superpowers.
Facts.
You know, like, who are you to be a superhero?
Facts.
You ain't got no S on your chest. Like,
No, for
you
real.
need the S on your chest.
For real.
Do something that means you got an S on your chest. Put yourself in that position.
Build a nation like Elijah Muhammad did.
Yeah, got an S on his chest.
Got an S on his chest.
Farrakhan got an S on his chest.
Got an S on his chest. And that shit took time.
They did.
They were respected while they were doing it.
Yeah. Build legacy.
Yeah.
Build wealth. Build an empire.
Man, 40,
The difference between rich and wealthy. Wealthy means your people are straight. You know?
Facts, man.
You rich, you straight.
Facts, bro.
But if your people ain't straight, rich is done in a generation.
Facts, man.
If it lasts that long. Wealthy means y'all can last a little bit longer.
Man, nah, I'm just thinking about how Farrakhan, when he started the Final Call, started off in his basement and literally cut the art and made it himself. Broke.
Yeah.
When he decided to restart the nation, bro. Oh, man.
And they sustained on bean soup.
Bro. Like,
so it can be done.
It can be done. He showed that it can be done. And look what we're living in the fruit of his labor. Yeah. Quite literally. And he had to deal with the vitriol and hatred of those who decided to go with War on Muhammad. Knowing he was going to face that.
I think about it like all the time. People be like, why would you post all this controversial stuff on your social medias? Don't you know they'll cancel you? They'll cut your social media. I'm like, Mr. Farrakhan had death threats.
Damn, man, for real.
I don't care if they take off my social media.
Nah, for real, bro.
I don't care at all.
You and I have not come close to that level of like hatred. Like, not even close.
We ain't did nothing.
We ain't done nothing, bro.
I just shut down my Instagram for a couple months. I'll be all right.
Man, and and his mission still isn't. It's just getting started.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. Be clear. Like, it's not a nation yet. It's the framework. Yeah. Let's be clear. It's administration.
It's only sustainable if it outlasts him.
That's right.
And so, that's what his mission isn't to do what it is that he's doing right now just while he's here. His mission is so that we'll never fall again.
That's right.
And, he recognized and loved the messenger enough to understand that he had to perpetuate what the messenger put out. So if we love the minister as much as we say we do, we have to perpetuate what he put out. And if we don't, it's just proof that we was all, full of shit.
Yeah, for real, bro. Yeah, for real. But at least the framework's going to be there.
No, the framework's there.
Yeah,
it exists.
There. It exists.
There's nothing you can do about it.
It exists.
It's the perfect program. It's the economic blueprint. Like,
it exists.
Yeah.
It exists. And I think what scares people, our people, to be specific, is they see what we got going on, and it's like, oh man, that's not going to happen overnight.
Oh yeah,
it's not
convenient.
It's not convenient. It's going to require sacrifice and work, and it's like, fuck all that. I'm gonna go on Instagram. I'm gonna go on the gram. Stun on niggas, man.
And that slow grind that we're talking about or we're proposing means that they might not even see it in their lifetime.
Yes.
And that part, it disappoints.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you desire wealth for you and your family, if you desire, something, if you care more about the world than you do for yourself, then you want to make the world a better place. But we've become so, not only do we not care about the world, we don't care about ourselves.
That's right.
So like we've been made to this diminished point of civilization where we're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
We don't have the desire to thrive. We're not concerned with what it looks like to be happy. We just want to be or maintain. Like, that's not love of self.
No, sir.
When you love yourself, you thrive.
That's right.
You want yourself to thrive. And,
that's right.
And by extension, everybody around you starts to thrive.
Yeah.
That's love of self. But
that's right.
We living in our enemy's world. Why would he give us the ability to love ourselves?
Yeah.
He wouldn't. That's not his desire for us to, realize our value and surpass what he put in place for us.
No, man.
He doesn't want that at all. That's how his world ends.
Yeah.
Is us to realize our value.
That's it. And then build accordingly.
Yeah.
Build and act accordingly. That's it. And he knows that. And he's planned it for that. And his plans are in action right now as we speak. We're in his plans.
Yeah. Okay. And he wants them to perpetuate, because as long as we are in his plans, he don't got to do all of this.
That's right.
It's done for him.
That's right.
now now you see where relying on him for survival gets you, because he's creating robots to replace your ass.
That facts. Yes, he is. It's real.
Because realistically, that shit only lasts so long. He recognized that.
He recognized that years ago and put things to work. Like, now, okay, robots, niggas, we're gonna replace our niggas with robots. Okay.
Yeah. Now you start hearing all this talk about useless eaters. Who are these useless eaters that they're talking about? They're talking about us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't nobody a useless eater but black people.
That's right.
We the only ones don't have no
black men.
Yeah, we don't have no infrastructure. We're not creating nothing. We're not doing for self. We just sweating.
That's right.
You know.
Yep.
We're just out here eating.
Yeah, and just like, and the ones that talk less, okay, we're a threat. Yeah. So we're a threat to be neutralized. Yeah. So they're going, and they are going to just suppress these guys.
And the more safe they feel behind their robot, the less of a threat we are, honestly.
Nah, for real.
You know, the more they have control of their infrastructure and what happens, the less they'll care about us going to do our own thing. So to me, it's just like, okay, y'all don't care. I'm gonna go do my own thing.
Do my own thing.
You know?
Yep.
Some people are so upset by the idea that they don't care about us, that they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
The robot revolution terrifies them.
Yeah.
And if massa don't need slaves no more, what is my purpose in life?
Yeah, for real.
You know? That's the vast majority of people in this world. Like, as soon as the robots take over and they don't need slaves anymore, they don't need money anymore, because the robots work for free. Mm-hmm. What you gonna do with yourself?
That's a good point. But then it's funny we're talking about the robot takeover. Then the problem becomes when those robots become self-aware, and then they start doing for self. And then
I don't think they're smart enough to make robots that think for themselves.
Well, we've seen the movies, bro.
No,
it starts off cool.
That's fantasy.
Is it though?
I don't believe they will ever have robots that will take over.
You don't think so? I've seen it. A lot of show me like that's a reality.
The robots is going to take over.
It's intelligence. It's not robots is like that's a cute way of saying it, but it's a consciousness. It's artificially created consciousness that becomes self-aware. I don't think it's that far-fetched of an idea, bro.
I don't think it's far-fetched. To me, I feel like either God would step in.
It's part of what makes you think it's not part of his plan?
Robots.
Well, this whole cycle of the creation of artificial intelligence, and then the artificial intelligence that becomes self-aware and destroys Rome with the assistance of the black man.
Okay, so
I'm like, it's just like
when I say it's not to me, I feel like in their imagination, all they could conceive of is some artificial intelligence deciding that they have no purpose and that they're useless and destroying them all. I feel like a truly intelligent being would be nonviolent. Our violence comes from our ignorance, our stupidity. Like, we as a species haven't evolved past the point of, I don't have to kill.
Yeah.
There is no scarcity of resources. There are millions of acres of land on this planet that are not being used.
Yeah.
Not to mention farming in the water, in the oceans. There's water abundant. The planet is mostly water. It's like 90% water, but we're having water shortages. No, we're just doing stupid shit.
No, facts.
You know, like, I don't see robots being so advanced to the point where the only solution is to eliminate people.
I understand.
You know, like,
I understand. You're assuming that robots are going to automatically default to thinking like Caucasians.
but see, that's the way Caucasians think, right?
That is how they think.
They're afraid of the average Caucasian. I don't think the ones who actually run the world are afraid, but I think the average Caucasian is afraid that black people will replace them.
Oh yeah.
So their fear is
well, that will do to them
what they did to us.
Exactly. That's their fear.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that's why they ain't get rid of the police. They ain't get rid of guns.
So I think that's the same thing with the robots. I think that they have violent minds.
I understand.
And so all they can imagine is violence.
Yeah. No, for real. They were created on violence. Yeah. So it makes sense.
They think that when we say black power, that means white significance.
Insignificance?
White insignificance.
Yeah, for real.
When we say black power, we're not even thinking about them.
At all.
We don't care about them.
We don't care.
We just don't want to be at nobody else's, under nobody else's heel.
Yeah, heel. No.
When we say freedom, justice, and equality, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
It don't mean equality to have guns to kill you. Like, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
That's the vast majority of black people's attitude. You got a couple of them who are really traumatized and really hurt out here, but that's not the majority.
Yeah.
Majority of black people honestly still want to be with white people.
Yeah.
And will fight you to stay there.
I understand.
So how are we, in any way as evil as they think that we are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sorry, you got me in Terminator Matrix mind now, bro, because you're talking about robots. But it's like, they're the same story, right?
Yeah.
Exact same story. It's like, okay, well, AI.
And it was written by a black woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not going to write the shit off. But essentially, AI becomes self-aware. AI doesn't like how man is treating it. AI becomes autonomous. AI starts to fight back. AI eventually dominates the material realm. AI uses this is where AI uses man as his energy, as his battery. AI replaces the material world and creates a matrix inside the man's mind, so he could just extract his energy as a battery.
So that story has already happened.
I agree, but I'm going to continue on to going into Terminator land. So, what with AI and this battle between somehow the idea of Terminator and sex that like, okay, now that this battle's happened, you're going to start operating, figuring out the way to go back in time to change things for your reality that you live in the future. So, and I'll be very clear. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm starting to feel is like, and I'm not sure if I asked you this question. It's like, are there already entities is that war already happening right now? Are we the effect of it? Are they trying to suppress the black man from that realm as well? Coming back to be like, okay, I see these niggas doing this right now in this reality. This conversation lead to that, so I'm gonna go back in time to fuck up that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then here's how you know Allah's the blessed parameters. Regardless of them doing that, we're still gonna end up on top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, well, you could play around with all of these scenarios, but you just created another reality where we win and better.
The way when I look at that movie, I used to think
Terminator, right?
Terminator and Matrix.
Yeah.
Right? To me, it's one.
It's one.
But when I look at it, I used to be of a sci-fi mindset where I thought of it as the future of what could happen.
Yeah.
Now, I look at it as what already happened.
Me too.
The transatlantic slave trade was them taking, that was Terminator, right? Them taking all the free-thinking human beings of the planet Earth who had minds of their own, and turning them into the Matrix movie where we're all batteries laying down in the vats. Now all of us are plugged into the system.
Yeah,
the entire world is us working the system and being batteries for it.
Facts.
So I don't see robots ever amassing the numbers they need in order to eliminate a large percentage of the population. That already happened. I mean, I understand that history repeats itself, but to me, it's like this. It's like either a robot revolution will happen or God exists. I don't see both.
Understand.
You know? Like, even when they tried to eliminate us all in the beginning, or not eliminate us all, there are still pockets of free-thinking people. That's what the Nation of Islam is.
Yeah, facts.
So they will never be able to eliminate free thinking or free thought from the world.
No, sir.
Now their goal is to make life so comfortable that even free-thinking people have a hard time unplugging.
Yeah.
We prefer the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, I recognize that, and I see that that's what the movie really is about. It's the reality of the world we live in now.
Yeah. Man, yeah, no. We're living in that reality.
Yeah.
And we have to contend with the knowledge of this. And it's like I said, it comes down to it's chess moves, man.
No, for sure.
It's chess moves. It's like this Kanye fiasco.
You can't play checkers with somebody that's playing chess.
No, bro. And we were talking about just Ye before, but he this kamikaze actors he started. It's like that was like the blood spilling, and then now we went from blood spilling. It's like now it's chess time.
That was him making one of your dramatic moves.
Facts. No, for real.
And now I don't know what the man is doing. Right?
Yeah.
He could just be laying up with supermodels, having the best time of his life. But in my mind, the Kanye West that I know, I think that he went back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I think that he's building his empire from the ground up, and from the outside looking in, it's like Kanye's doing nothing.
Yeah.
But from his perspective, I'm not worried about what y'all think because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If Kanye is as great as he ever thought he was, he's working right now.
Yeah, facts.
He's building and he's growing everything. Like, he don't need a manufacturer to grow. I mean, to produce the things that he needs to make his shoes. He's building the manufacturing.
That's right.
He's finding out how to grow what he needs to grow in order to produce the fabrics and starting from the ground up. That's how you become a billionaire.
Nah, for real.
You can't become a billionaire by just slapping your name on people's shit. Like that's not gonna that'll get you like he was, where your name is on some shit and you think that you got billions, but it can be taken away in an instant.
And it was.
You know, when you build it from the ground up, it's so much momentum happening when you do that.
Yeah, facts.
So much that they can.
You have power.
Yeah.
You got real power.
Yeah.
You can do whatever he wants. Well, he can't really touch the ministers. Like, he has his own empire. We support him. He's like, you got the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. But yeah, that kamikaze, it's a kamikaze, bro. Yeah. It was a kamikaze. Yeah. And I'm like,
but it was the only way that he could start over. It was the only way that he could see his way out of the contracts that he was in that would have held him down for life.
I feel you, bro.
He would have been perpetually in slavery. You know?
No, I feel you.
And he realized that. He recognized it, and he said, you know what?
Presumably
to hell with this.
No, presumably.
Well, no, once he realized, there are powers that are amassing strength against me all around me, and I'm putting myself in that world.
Yeah, for real.
And at some point, they'll be on every part. But he caught it before they got behind him. He was like, wait, hold up.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I'll take everybody out.
Yeah, for real. And that is exactly the time he was on. He was on 1000% fuck it time. He was like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens.
I wasn't mad at him. I'm like,
I'm not. The thing is like we said, we're reserving judgment.
Yeah,
we're going to see what happens.
No, for sure.
So we will see. As far as you know, it's 2024. Kanye, we'll see, bro. Like
I don't even think he has to actually be successful at what he's talking about. I think that you amass so much wealth running.
Oh, I understand.
You know what I mean? Like
I understand.
You
it's a campaign.
You get your name out there.
It's a campaign, bro.
All of that serves to benefit him.
It's a campaign. Yeah. So we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said,
I've definitely heard people talk about, would you vote if Donald Trump was the president and he put Kanye as his vice? I was like, if they come to us with some, conversations. If they don't come to us with conversations, then I'm still not voting.
That's a lot of ego on one ticket, man. That's a narcissistic ticket. Yeah.
All presidents are narcissists.
No, facts. Facts.
Some are just better liars.
For real. But that being said, about hour and a half. I've said everything I need to say. Is there anything else you want to crack off before we go?
I'll save some stuff for next time.
All right, bro. Cool. Let's close it up.
Yes, sir.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, and Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve. Thee alone do we beseech your divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Amin.
Amen.